first undercard match already done here as we return to Street Fighter League. This is the preseason, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tasty Steve. This is my friend Vicious, and we have another match for you guys. This is the main event. We've already kind of touched on some of these players that are involved, but today you're going to get NASR Samurai going up against none other than Nephew, one of the members of Team Alpha 3. What are some of your thoughts going in right now?
1, Alpha 3 is a sick name. 2, this is going to be quite the matchup to who actually wore the Team Frost jersey better. Again, we have Samurai, Mr. OCV himself, Bald Eagle 1, coming back with such a strong team, and it's such a strong prospect for Team NASR, honestly, picking up a guy like Samurai.
It's so smart.
So well-rounded too. So this is going to be kind of complicated. Samurai coming in with Akuma, Nephew coming in with a very, very strong Kolin. These are their tried and true. This is going to be only a preview of what's potentially to come in Street Fighter League Season 3, and it's completely unpredictable. And we're going to say this numerous times. Get used to us saying this, because Samurai and Nephew have pretty much gone like neck and neck when it comes to their local scenes. I know they've played at Wednesday Night Fights Oakland. They've played online numerous amount of times in the same kind of community tournaments, and I wouldn't doubt that they've run into each other in ranked.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the thing is though, I feel like when it comes to like the counter picking, which we might have to see, it's going to be way more in the benefit of Nephew, because he's been practicing other characters like G, outside of Kolin. So it's kind of tough, right? But off the bat, if you can't stop Samurai, it's going to be lights out. He's just one of those momentum heavy characters. He's so solid with his reads in general, right? He's such a read heavy player, and he does it. I feel like he's like a psychic. When in terms of how he plays, he knows exactly what you want to do, what the situation is, and how exactly he's going to counter it. Sometimes he throws out the most unorthodox things, and it works out in his favor. It's actually ridiculous.
Some people see that like some people see it as like, man, why would you do that? And Samurai knows why he did that. And for a few words before we get into this next main card event, the main event, we're going to talk to Samurai.
In Season 1, I was with iDom and Classical on Team Storm.
I told you, Steve. I told you it was going to be the critical art.
He is dead. Oh, wow. The run back.
I was also on Street Fighter League Season 2 with Sherry and Bill Kevin for Team Frost.
Definitely working out. Oh, okay. That was so smart, because he actually
runs into it. He jumped back.
And that's gonna be the screen.
There wasn't really any big differences in both seasons. It's just the teammates. And the season I'm representing Team NASR with the Birds, Angrybird and Bigbird. So I'm really excited to compete with those guys. I'm really excited to see the synergy that we have and to really get ourselves, psyched up to play the team. Me and Nephew are Street Fighter League veterans. Nephew is a great player. He's shown time and time again that he can put a nail in the coffin and beat me or beat anybody. You can't count him out. He's gonna come back stronger and stronger every single time. He's a great training partner. I'm just excited to compete against him. Strategy today to beat Nephew is to not get crush countered. That's all. Don't get crush countered.
Samurai, a very, very astute, a studied player, like you said before, challenges every instant because he has the knowledge to do so. I love the fact that he's one of those collected players, likes to meditate, jog in place, very Tokido-esque.
Yes.
We talked about this. Punk actually made a reference to it, believe it or not. But that's only one half of our main event. Our next opponent, Samurai's opponent, will be none other than Nephew. Let's see what he has to say about his upcoming match.
Yeah, so I was a part of Season 1 of Street Fighter League. I was the captain of Team Frost, and I ended up choosing Dual Kevin and Up to Snuff as my teammates. And I think we were a pretty solid team, very well-rounded. I think in Season 1, there was a little bit of pressure as a captain to figure out the team bans, team orders, and figure out how to give advice to our players in between each game. It was something that I kind of struggled with in the beginning, I think, but as the season went on, I got better with it. This season, I am on Team Alpha 3. Punk is my captain, and I am also teammates with CJ True. I'm really excited because I feel like our team is really strong. Today, I am playing against Samurai. He's a very solid player, pretty calculated. We're kind of Street Fighter League veterans at this point. and we've actually both been on Team Frost in different times. But despite all of that, I am going to kick Samurai's butt in this first 2-4 today. So Samurai, if you're watching, your butt is getting kicked.
Nephew, once again, another one of those players, we always have to talk about him. If he's in your bracket, we have to talk about him. If he's on your stream, we have to talk about him. Street Fighter League Season 3 is no different. I feel like Samurai has already done more than enough work in Street Fighter League to kind of make sure you know who he is. Nephew, on the other hand, I feel like he's the younger of the two, one. Also, I feel like he's done so much outside of just Street Fighter League for him to get more than enough respect. So I am super interested to see what's about to happen in his next match now.
He's one of those cats that gets a lot of street cred from a lot of the players in the country. I think it's going to be even more surprising to see how the international players face off against him once Street Fighter League comes around, right? I'm actually kind of, really excited for the likes of Nephew to kind of show what he's about on such a big scale.
Oh yeah.
This Kolin has been sharpened since the beginning, right? He's known this character's ins and outs, and he knows how to calculate the matchups to benefit him as much as possible. He's done a ton of breakdowns on his YouTube channel and has broken down to the science and the numbers behind their decision making. He's like, if he throws a fireball here, what are the chances he's gonna throw it again? And what are the chances he's gonna go for something else? It's actually kind of ridiculous to watch that he could break it down to numbers as to what the odds are. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Samurai versus Nephew is going to be game one. Here we go.
Yeah, Nephew is definitely a guy who controls the neutral so well, especially once that trigger 2 gets active. His tick throw game is so strong. Also, you have to remember, Samurai's not going to let you just walk up and hit buttons. We've seen Samurai do a full screen walk just to get a throw for a KO. So I know that this neutral game is going to be a major part of this.
There's going to be a lot of heavy buttons hitting on both sides.
Kolin
gets a ton of mileage off that stand fierce, but here comes Samurai. Gets a ton of mileage off of everything, really, because it's Akuma. So many options. There's that crush counter ringing, and off the V trigger too, you can get a lot of options for Nephew. But he's going to play it cool. He's going to just chill out for a little bit and not be overzealous with the movement. Crosscut DP coming from Samurai.
And look at that, just ready, just wait. And this is that tick throw, that's exactly what I'm talking about. This is one of the major parts of Nephew's game. The tick throw, am I gonna get hit here? Do I take the throw? You're best to take the throw, because if he gets in and starts hitting you with these mix-ups, you're gonna be in trouble. But he also still has V skill too, which you have to be prepared for.
That's right, he has a command grab. Oh, that could have been a big punish on the drop though from Samurai. Unfortunate. Nephew hanging in there with the punish. 2 back-to-back punishes, completely missed.
Man, that was actually super scary right there. That up, I don't like fighting Kolin up that close because all her buttons are so good. Like, I feel like every time she hits me, she's crushing.
Well, that's true because she's fishing with fierce majority of the time, right? Okay, back throw, checking with the low medium kick, making sure Samurai stays in place. But that's the thing is, you don't want to be up close against Akuma, more so than against Kolin. Like, in terms of Kolin versus Akuma, who would be the bigger threat up close?
I don't know, man. Akuma's walk speed after a knockdown is actually terrifying. So it's like if he gets a crush, the corner carry and the walk-up pressure that comes from it is something that you need to be afraid of the entire time. I feel like the fact that Kolin is always working towards her V trigger is one of the scariest things. V skill 2 on top of that, which means you got to be careful just even in the neutral. And then she still has these great buttons that you have to be wary of when you're fighting this close. So I feel like it could go either way. It just goes to the player at that point, you know? But still, you know the Nephew's aware of it. And you know the Samurai's aware of it from the range that they're playing at. Block fireball, activation on the V trigger.
I like this from Nephew, just backing away, and just in case of the throw, he's gonna take it. He's gonna sit there, not delay tech. He's definitely gonna wait for this trigger to wind down. Samurai looking to close the gap. That's a great call out from Nephew. That could have been an air fireball, and there's one right there, but no more trigger on the table. That is a win for Nephew, and it's all Kolin at this point. V trigger is active, does have all the meter in the world. Another anti-air. Can he close it out? No, he cannot. Instead, Samurai.
Up.
It's not over yet.
Oh my gosh, 5 seconds left on the clock.
He's chilling.
He's
out of it.
I don't even know who has it. Oh my gosh.
I broke something, Steve.
I did not know who had the life lead. I did not know who had the life lead. Samurai with a big smile on his face. Nephew too. Wow, dude. That was the first match
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
I almost flailed out of my seat. I think I took my mic with me. It'd be like that though.
Oh,
Listen,
dude.
that was absolutely close. It came down to who can effectively run down the timer on V-Trigger first.
Yeah, no, that's definitely kind of like the fact of the matter is that both of them were playing with the fact that fire was fighting fire. They're like, look, both of us have all these tools, but who's gonna hit who first? I'm looking at Nephew. I'm looking at Nephew to break the line and go straight into, full-blown offense mode. But both of them played super respectfully, played back a little bit. That's why that scramble was so important. Small pokes, the wake up, dash forward, low forward, fireball, confirm into CA that did not kill.
I can't believe it. I thought it was over. Honestly, there was such little scaling behind it, but Nephew just had so much life. And Kolin has I think average life too, 1,000 health points if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty solid. That little tidbit of information is exactly why Nephew survived. It's because of the amount of life and stamina that Kolin has. It was so close. Here we go, game number 2. Samurai, a lot more liberal with the fireballs this time around, but Nephew, again, he calculates those. He's like, are you gonna throw another one? I'm gonna jump here. Statistically, I should find success, at least 80%.
I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the things we have not seen was that vanity step. Kolin's jumping heavy kick is definitely a problem. Oh, nice, tries to go for the anti-air.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
doing. The dive kick to change the trajectory, gets the combo, the air fireball once again, and you still have to be wary. Because at any point in time, if she gets a crush, there's the vanity step finally to make some movement happen. Gets control of the corner. There's the low forward, activating the trigger. Ooh. And one of the things that Nephew is doing is he's not giving up any ground. He's trying his best not to walk back and give Akuma that walking space to get that offense started. Look at him, just goes right back to that range 3 and just walks right back in. Gives him a chance to whiff and then goes to the buttons. Nice DP to stop the jump in.
There's a lot of movement from Nephew to kind of anticipate a fireball from Samurai, and he wasn't giving him any of it until the activation of the trigger. Okay, you know it, just within that range. Samurai clutching it out, first round of game number 2. Now, I like that patience from Samurai. He was waiting down Nephew. He was walking him down, getting all that estate back because he knew that Nephew was waiting for that fireball. You saw it in the jump. You saw it in the way he was buffering quarter circle back. He was waiting on it.
I like the button challenges. Okay, sets up the hill. There's the tick throw game once again.
Oh,
and he knows you're gonna start swinging because he plays that range so well. Gets the crush counter, not able to make anything happen. Nice confirm with the side switch from Akuma. Samurai in control. There's a forward throw. Double air fireball.
Very neat.
Trying to keep that momentum. Great life. Getting higher and higher. A lot of seasoning on the bar. Double throw. Stun becoming a factor. Raw activation. Air throw.
The arm bar. Where do you think you're going? Slam him down.
Samurai spins the EX hail and does the conversion using the vanity step. This dude, Nephew, even Samurai's really back.
Ridiculous.
Even he knows. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Hit him with the hail, that was fire, no icy hot. Nephew.
Bars.
He is
Yo,
clutching it out
calm
too.
down,
That
bro.
was ridiculous. On that air conversion against Lexus. Oh, how did that hit? What do you mean? Was that his hair? How did that
Yeah, I was about
flip?
to say,
I
man,
don't
that
know
was
anything
the
about
ponytail up on top. That was what hit him.
Okay,
Part of the
makes
DP hitbox, the ponytail.
Gotcha.
I like the back and forth. Oh, the whiff. Online? Online. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Every time I see something sick online, for real, can we check his connection to make sure he's online? Let me get that damage, though. Samurai in control. Whiff just to get the throw. And this is what I was talking about with the walk speed. Look at how quick a round can turn. Oh, my God, the whiff punish. Are you serious? Oh, that is the Samurai special. When you want tea, you got to get it from the top shelf. Metsu Go Shirai, you hold it. I want the good tea. I want the good stuff. My man's not drinking regular tea, man. He got a belt made out of rope. That is some old, nasty tea, man. That's real dirt.
What rank do you have to be to have a belt made out of rope?
I don't even know, bro. That's hobo rank right there. That means you're doing whatever it takes to survive.
I think that's like ultimate power is what that is. It's life or death, no matter what.
That's hobo rank, baby. You ever seen a hobo will fight tooth and nail, man? I'm just saying, bro. That's the level Akuma is at. If you ever want to know how strong he is, just imagine, man. This dude Samurai is broken, dude.
That was pretty good. I like that a lot. That's one for the books for sure. That should be a rank in like Street Fighter, I feel like. After Master. It's just
After
like,
Master hobo rank. Yo, my man's just trying to survive right now. If it takes a ham sandwich and a Hadoken, we living out here. Game number 3. All right, here we go. I bet you Ryu was eating many a ham sandwich in his day. There's no way. My man ain't even got shoes. Akuma at least has shoes. Ryu was out here traversing the world barefooted. What about tetanus? Anyway, game number 3.
Listen, Akuma was selling fruits on the street of India
This
in
is
the animated
true.
movie. Okay?
I told you, whatever
he was
it takes
making
to
his money
survive.
for these sandwiches.
Hobo status. That's hobo rank, bro. All right, here
He
we
knows
go.
what he has to do.
And there's the neutrals that I was once again consistent with punishing. Are we online? Can we check his connection?
I'm starting to think Samurai moved in with.
I'm just saying, he's
Hungry
in the
Nephew.
basement. He was like, I gotta play who? He moved into the basement. The sublease to the basement. Samurai's down. Oh, activate.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Mega
barely
Man
off the
jump him
mark.
out of here. Trying to traverse the level, bro. Walk up, throw.
Forward
That's what
throw.
I was talking about. Control of the neutral is one of the things both of these guys have in common. They're both really strong at it. Kolin even more so, because if she gets that trigger activation, she's gonna be smooth.
One of the things, though, I noticed is that Samurai is not afraid to walk back on defense because of the little threat that Kolin presents, right? She can't do much off of a low medium kick unless she has V-trigger. So as soon as he's within range and he gets knocked down and he sees that option as a thing, right? He's just gonna walk back and take that hit. Very little damage for very little risk, honestly. So that's fine with him. He's controlling the pace a lot more now with the life lead. The trigger is not on deck for Nephew, which is a huge deterrence to his offense, right? There's no big openings that you could expect from Nephew quite yet.
Be careful. The heavy kick, there it is, man. That's one of the Samurai specials. The Air EX Fireball, nice DP. Tries to use the double jump to get out of there. And look at him, just hanging, giving him the room to hang himself. Just backdashing, not giving up any space, didn't use any meter. And look at the clock, 12 seconds. You know Samurai is content with that.
And he wasn't overzealous with a normal choice either. That was the best thing, is that Samurai, honestly, as soon as he saw Nephew chasing him down, he was going to optimize with crouch short instead. He was like, you know what? I don't have to take any big risks. Was that a cross-cut DP?
What? Oh my God, he blocked that. I was scared. I was so scared. I'm like, man, I can't believe he called that out. Parabellum hands, get to the corner.
That might have been an overlapping input, unfortunately, from the side of Samurai. Really unfortunate, but either way, great for Nephew. Great pickup as well. Close to stun, a throw, probably no.
I like the jab just to make sure it has something waiting for him so he won't retaliate.
Ooh.
I like that, covering the bases, make sure those jabs are there. Now those jabs are really good for stopping the dashing, especially from Kolin, especially at that range where we've seen where Nephew has done so much work.
And look at him hanging back. He's just going to be taking this chip damage from the fireballs, and that's what I'm talking about, the background house. I was waiting for that, just at the range to trade and deter Samurai from throwing these bad boys, right? He's going to take a little bit of chip. He's totally content with that. He has the life lead. He can do whatever he wants. And if anything, the more of these that he takes, the more gauge he builds. There it is. V-trigger on deck now for Nephew.
Look at the
Low,
offense.
medium kick, patented Samurai with the empty jump low.
As soon as he got that trigger, that's when he turned on the offense. The overhead just stopping the active, that was crazy. Oh, to get over it. What is happening right now? The jump back. Air to air with the jump light. Stays on the same side, confirming the CA done.
Retsuha. Samurai.
It looks like a
First
dragon.
time
It's
for
coming out of the ground when he does the CA. It literally looks like a dragon is coming out of the ground. 2-1 Samurai.
No, I like the maneuverability that Nephew presented with that V-trigger to get past the EX fireballs, but I feel like he ran out of trigger more so than Akuma did, and that was kind of a big deal because he wasn't getting anything out of it. He was just avoiding that pressure, avoiding potential damage, but still Samurai clutching it out with the critical art. It was interesting to see from Nephew, but without a doubt, I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve in terms of how he can make that V-trigger really effective in this matchup.
I can tell you right now, Nephew has never really been one to do big crazy combos with V-trigger. He uses it as a pressure tool. A lot of times he's done this, he's like, oh, I have trigger now, you're going to back up, and I can open you up with tick throws, right? And that's why he's always gotten these smaller combos. If he has meter, he can vanity step, spin that, carry you to the other corner. Samurai taking the opposite route. He's like, look, you have trigger, I'm actually just gonna back up. We saw several rounds go down to single digit count because he was slowing down the pace that much. So smart by Samurai. And he's been using that standing medium kick. You talked about the range Kolin has, but the standing medium kick from Samurai has been one of the best tools. He's gotten multiple whiff punishes to start up his momentum, and there's a good challenge from Nephew this time around to get a crush, knockdown, going to start the mental for himself.
It's kind of tough, right? Samurai's kind of hovering around the ranges where he can at least get a stand fierce, maybe a medium kick as well. But for the most part, Nephew has been very solid in terms of what normals he wants to use. He's been very choosy with fierce, back roundhouse, hanging in that range, and it's kind of obvious. Now it's kind of the question whether or not Samurai can whiff punish it, or if he's going to even bother, because again, it's kind of tough to call online.
Backdash gets out of there, side switch, Samurai still
The damage option, I like it. Very, very solid. Oh, he covered the V reversal. He knew it was coming. Dashing up again, gets checked, this time by Nephew. Clean activation, back-to-back activation. Here comes Samurai now. The EX air fireball, full conversion.
CA?
You already know.
And look at, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you go back and look at every one of the matches Samurai has ever played, the way that they're respecting each other. I've never seen raw trigger activation to combat a raw trigger act. That's like some third strike Street Fighter 4 I'm playing Young Mirror stuff.
What?
That's what that is. It's like, oh, what you activated? Oh, now I gotta activate too. Like, that's what it feels like.
Except this wasn't a standstill. These guys absolutely went ham.
Yeah, that's true.
And got the opening. Samurai got the opening, I should say. And there was so much damage on that conversion too. Off of the jabs, he gets the Tatsu, extra damage with the fireball, extra damage with the Dragon Punch, cancel into critical art.
Walk up, tries to get the throw. There's the activation once again. And look at how quickly Nephew will activate that trigger just to get control, right? And it just gives him momentum back in the game. And he, like I said, he doesn't use it for these big damage conversions. He uses it to keep the momentum, kind of like inch his way back in. But Samurai, even the wiser, saying, you know what? I'm not going to give you any ground to make anything happen. Opting for the defensive route, just backing away, giving him space, playing the clock.
My goodness.
And no trigger. Look at this. Look at the amount of trigger that's been wasted from the fact that Samurai's just running away. Air-to-air jump light, same side again. That was the same situation that got Samurai the W.
That is probably the cleanest example of neutralizing the threat of V-trigger from the side of Kolin. The way that Samurai played that, you have to take a look and study that, because that is a great example on how to stall out Kolin.
I feel like that's one of the things that has become more and more evident in the world of Street Fighter V. You have to play defensive when that trigger becomes active, especially versus certain people, and stay away from me. Social distancing. You see the fireball? That's the mask. That's a facial mask. He says to get away from me, bro. 6 feet, give it to me.
He gave it to you twice. He doubled up on that. That was hand sanitizer and a mask. He wanted to make sure there was no threat of virus whatsoever.
Hand sanitizer.
It's true. It's true.
Wow.
The cleanest of plays.
The
from Samurai.
cleanest of plays.
100%.
And germs. Completely done. The CA wipes out all the germs. All right, here we go. Samurai. Nephew. Samurai on set point. Who would have saw? I would love to know the odds on a match like this. Because for me, I feel like we talk to a bunch of these people, right? We talk to the players. We talk to people who watch these guys play. I'm interested to know the outlook on some of the people watching these matches. Make sure you guys discuss it, because I'm definitely going to go and make sure I pay attention to it as well. I love to hear the banter between players who side with their champions, right? Man, I think Samurai's gonna take it. I think my boy Nephew's gonna take it. Let's see how it plays out. Game number 5.
Man, those crouch strongs again, being so plus, being able to like lead to so many different routes as well. But back-to-back crouch strongs, you're hanging in there for a cool minute. Don't press a button, you're gonna get frame trapped. The first knockdown. V-skill 2. That's what I'm talking about. Who gave her a command grab?
Whose idea was that? Now my boy got frostbite. Look at him. He's blue, man. I mean, he ain't wearing no shirt, and you know, it's very cold. But you know, you get what I'm saying. But still, once again, like Samurai content with just playing the lane game, using fireballs to get chip damage. Finally gets that effect.
But he missed the conversion
Side
too far out. And the damage ended.
Taking the DP for the Oki this time. Oh, that was supposed to be EX Vanity Step to get through? No.
Oh, back-to-back fireballs, just taking it to the dome.
Yeah, no meter on the side of Nephew, so he's not able to make anything happen other than this V-trigger. And the EX Demon Flip?
Oh, boy.
Oh, side switch.
The online classic.
Ready for the block. Look at the life bar on Nephew, though.
You see Nephew, he's just trying to build meter a little bit. Chip is not imminent yet. But he runs into that last fireball. He thought he had an opening with the hail, but it wasn't enough for Nephew. Just running out of time. I think that was a punish. I'm pretty sure if I saw that animation back, I'm pretty sure that was a punish.
No, I think you're right, actually. The heavy kicks. You can see those fireballs are what Nephew is looking for. He can start swinging a little bigger. Probably get these crush counters that he needs, but Samurai just backing up. Tries to get entry with the air fireball. Nephew's defense looking really sound right now. Full CA available for Samurai.
And you see that? He knows exactly when to swing. Samurai, that is, with that medium kick. Getting that knockdown again. Activation raw from Nephew. Off of the back roundhouse,
Spend it, baby. Set point right now for Samurai.
Oh, sit him down. One more touch can do it. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. He sees the gates. He finds the key and opens up the lock and takes it down. He's in there.
This dude, Samurai, and the way he controlled the neutral was just by setting up the jabs. He was like, look, you're not going to walk forward because you're going to be paying way too much attention to the fact that I have these jabs out here, these normals to make you respect the spacing. That was so smart of him to make sure that he's not going to get comfortable playing that footsie game, playing that tick throw game. We talked about how strong Kolin had with the normals to make sure you respect them, especially because she's crushing you a lot of times. Akuma's walk speed, I felt like, kind of slowed that down. The usage of the neutral fireballs, and then just there to see how that round closed out. The fact that he did a standing jab to stop the vanity step. That was so good.
How do you stop somebody that's completely unpredictable, Steve? You know, Nephew, we preface this with him being an analytical monster, but how do you even judge somebody who's a statistical anomaly, really? You can't predict the movements of someone like Samurai, and it just goes to show you as to how he's OCV'd so many of these teams back to back to back. He's just that unpredictable, and with the perfect character to do so with that many options, right? I think that matchup still could have gone either way had it been a longer set, but man, that is a great preview as to what's to come.
Well, I mean, even still, we have words from our winner.
Well, my strategy was obviously not get crush countered, and I was successful most of the time, and keep my distance with my fireballs. I mean, he's trying to hit my fireball with his heavy kick, or he's trying to crush counter it, or pretty much stop me from throwing fireballs, and he has to close the gap, and I have to inch in and out of his spacing so that he can't get comfortable with trying to just crush counter me. I feel like me and Nephew play that matchup at the highest level, probably in the world, I think. Well, I want to say big shout outs to Team NASR for picking me up for this event. I'm just really excited to play everybody. You're going to be playing against some of the best players in the world. It's going to be super stacked. And the experience that we're going to gain all together, all of us, is going to be insurmountable.
Samurai coming in with the clutch victory, a very calculated victory, I might add myself. Words coming from the winner right there. I think that it sets up so good for the season what's happening. Just got that sponsor under his belt, taking out a heavy hitter, an anchor, if you will, in Nephew. That interview says a lot about like how Samurai feels about the upcoming season. Vicious, what are your thoughts?
You know, with that win under his belt against Nephew, again, this is only a preseason. You got to think back at the bigger picture, right? Nephew is only one of three, Alpha 3 for that matter. They still have to go up against CJ Truth and Punk if that so happens, right? When that matchup happens, there's still going to be a lot to really dissect out of this because this is pretty much just scouting information at this point. This is an exhibition. This is a preseason. Don't get that twisted. Like, these guys are making sure that they are in fine competitive shape when it comes down to the actual showcase, right? This is only a little bit of what both Samurai and Nephew have to offer in terms of the matchup. I'm really excited to see them play now that we've seen how, Samurai has dominated that performance. I'm going to say it with full respect, obviously. 4-1, if I'm not mistaken? That's going to be a lot of data for Nephew to collect and be like, all right, now I know what I can use this data for my teammates as well. So again, despite this being an exhibition, there's a lot of data for the likes of Nephew to come back even stronger with his team.
Well, I mean, and that was the main event, right? So we have somebody, and think about this, just to put a little more, context on it, right? This dude Punk called Samurai the Walmart Tokido. And now he's successfully taken out another member of his team, and we haven't even started the season yet. That says a lot, and that was the main event. Of course, our undercard today was Commander Jesse versus Alex Myers. Another match that lets you know just how in detail these players go to learn matchups and to be able to execute, even if they are so frequently running into each other, even if it is a local, whether it is online or not. Two world-class players. What were some of your thoughts about that first undercard match between Alex Myers and Commander Jesse?
One, it was kind of rough to see that matchup because Dawson versus Cammy is pretty difficult for Dawson.
Pretty dumb.
I'm not
It's
gonna
pretty
lie.
dumb.
It's pretty hard.
It's pretty stupid.
It's very, very difficult. That is a prime example on how the matchup is really going. I'm kind of curious to see if they ever run it back, if there would ever be a change of characters from Commander Jesse, because to be honest with you, it's a tough match to play out. As much as he can really adapt to Alex Myers, it's still going to be Cammy versus Dawson at the end of the day.
That's
and I'm
true.
going to be completely biased. I think Cammy does a fine job tearing that matchup down.
No, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. I think she definitely does a fine job of controlling everything that Dawson wants to do, but just at a better case. And those are only two of the matches that we have set up for you in this preseason. Of course, these exhibition matches are set up to make sure that these guys get proper representation, kind of get a further scout down the line for future seasons of Street Fighter League. But once again, this is only week 1.